Oh man, it feels good not to be talking about Kanye for a day because we have new Travis Scott news concerning his new album. We've been actually talking about a new Travis record for quite some time. We've been talking about Jack Boys 2 and maybe also the solo record, but he just gave a new interview to Billboard that reveals some interesting info on the new solo record, on Rodeo, the 10-year anniversary, and we'll go into all of that in this video, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So as I said, we've been talking about Jack Boys 2 for some time now. The next big event that we had was Coachella in April that Travis is helping design the stage for, or designing the entire set around it, which will be interesting because he did hint at new chapters, new everything connected to this performance. So hopefully we can, kind of get some new info on the new record. But he also just gave an interview to Billboard, which is really special because we don't get many Travis interviews. We don't get many interviews like that anymore. Just like big text interviews with Billboard, stuff like that. People like Rocky have always been doing extensive ones like that. This one also isn't that big or that in depth, but it does give us a little hint at what Travis is doing right now. So let's jump straight into this. We do have this interview called How Can I Get Better As I'm Getting Older? Travis Scott opens up by Carl Lamar, and it says the rapper's disruptive spirit has propelled him to chart and touring glory, and with his branding savvy, the former ball boy's bond with sports is stronger than ever. And this is interesting, this theme of how can I get better as I'm getting older, because obviously Travis is not the youngest anymore, but he still seems to top himself every time he does something. And I think that it just proves how long-term successful he can be. But it actually starts out, and I thought this was interesting because in the headline it also already talked about sports. He was asked about his partnership with the WWE, and we know that he played his new song 4x4 also at the Sphere, connected to the Monday Night Raw and the SmackDown. And actually at the end, he says, it's like, this shit is ill. I can't wait for this year to get in the ring. I'm training to get ready for this. It's going to be some dope shit. And this means that Travis is thinking about hopping in the ring. And to me, that thought is funny. Let's see what actually becomes of this, because sometimes it obviously that's just something that people say. But I just thought it was funny. He also goes on to then talk about Rodeo. And this is where it gets interesting because now we're talking about the music. But he was asked about his debut album, Rodeo. He was asked, your debut album, Rodeo, turns 10 this year. Do you have special memories from that era? And he says, I do. I got a lot. Rodeo is lit. It is. The only thing I wish from that album, and I probably should do for the 10-year anniversary, is that the action figure would come out on a USB and not a CD. That's the main thing, and it never happened. That album creation was everything for me. Touring, working on the album, and being at Mike Dean's crib all day. Rest in peace, Mike Dean's dog. Man, we loved that dog. It was lit, man. So he loved that dog. But this is cool because obviously 2015 was the year that Rodeo released, which at this point was 10 years ago. That's crazy to think about. And he did do a 10-year anniversary for Days Before Rodeo, obviously just last August. That was pretty big. That album as a re-release was pretty big. So this thing, maybe, as he said, bringing out the action figure on a USB. What does that mean? I don't know. But it'll be cool. Let me know if you're excited for this as well. Obviously it's not the same as Days Before Rodeo because Days Before Rodeo wasn't on streaming prior, and obviously Rodeo was. But it'll still be cool to get some sort of special anniversary thing for it. And then he was also asked about the Super Bowl. He was asked, you had your Super Bowl moment in 2019 performing with Maroon 5 at halftime, but that wasn't a full-fledged Travis Scott production. Is that still on your bucket list? And he said, hell yeah, man. Yeah, tell the NFL to hit me up. They know who to call. Word. And this obviously comes after Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance, which was really good. So I can definitely see a big chance, a big opportunity for somebody like Travis to do the same, and I think it will be lit. And then we go into the news and the info about the new album, because then he's being asked, where are you heading musically on your next album? And he doesn't answer that question. He just says, I want to say the title right now, but people aren't going to understand it. I have some more tweaking to do. So I don't know if that's concerning the title or if that's concerning the album, but apparently there is a title already existing, which would insinuate that the album is also in some sort of processing stage that is at least not fully unfinished. And I mean, we did have the album titled Utopia for a very long time before Utopia came out. So it's not like that's good news that tells us it's coming out next week, but it tells us that he's working on something. And we still have that theory of the City Names album, the Are You In My Brain or What? That could be the solo record, but really who knows. After 4x4 wasn't really a single for a new album, as I talked about in my video on it. Let's see where all of this goes, man. I'll be very excited to cover this as coming up. The Utopia rollout was legendary on this channel. So if you're here for another Travis Scott rollout with daily updates, make sure you subscribe because I hope we're getting into something this year. Then after he talked about this title, he was asked, fair, but where are you going sonically? And he said, I feel like for Utopia, I was striving to push things to a high level. I'm still reaching for that. I've been having so much fun with music and shit that I think it's cool to be artistic and have fun with it. I've been producing more, making a lot of the album, and going in on that level is making it more exciting. I can't wait, actually. And this is pretty cool because we know that he's a great producer, but we also know that, you know, sometimes he does need a little assistance on the producing. That's not to say that, as I said, he's a good producer. I just hope that him wanting to do a lot more doesn't lead to the overall quality of the record not being as good as Utopia, for example. But he's working with high-level, high-profile people, Mike Dean. Then I'm sure this won't be a problem. And maybe some more experimentation on Travis' side is actually good. The songs that he's been working on, also by himself, over the past couple of years have all been pretty good. So I'm more than optimistic for this one. And then interestingly enough, he was asked about features. He was asked, at this point in your career, is there anyone left that you want to get into the studio with? And he said, yeah, it's this band called Krong Bin I want to work with. I hope I pronounced that right. They're doing some psychedelic rock type stuff. We know that that's something he likes. This might be crazy, but I would love to get Taylor Swift or Sabrina Carpenter on a hook. And this kind of surprised me. I mean, it would be a crazy collab. That song would be really big. I just don't see it right now. I've seen a lot of people say they see it. I don't. I really don't. I don't know what it is, but I don't. Let me know what you think about this, though. As I said, hopefully we'll get more info from Travis. If not, it is only until April that Coachella is happening. And I guess at latest, at that point, we'll get some new info, either on Jackboys 2 or on the solo record. So make sure you stay subscribed because it'll be a very exciting time, also leading forward from that. But I do want to know what y'all think about all of this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.